Brazil you're from?
Huh?
We're in Brazil.
Yeah, Paraná.
Paraná?
Yeah, Paraná. Yeah. I'm here 24 years.
24 years?
A Brazilian man who lived in the United States for 24 years has been detained in Maryland and is now facing deportation. The case is raising questions about immigration enforcement and whether voluntary departure should have been an option.
Trump deports a U.S. veteran to Jamaica after he lived here for 50 years. Except the deportation order was issued in 2014 underneath Obama. Minor detail CBS forgot to mention. You see, Gregory came here legally when he was a teenager, and he was a legal resident for a very long time. But in 2014, he missed his immigration hearing, and when you don't show up to those, an immigration judge does this little thing called due process, and then they issue a removal order. And just because they don't come and snatch you up right away, that order doesn't disappear, doesn't expire. He just sat there for 11 years. Then in 2025, he gets pulled over for a traffic stop, and police run his name, like they do for everyone. And surprise, an active removal warrant popped up. So police did their job, took him into custody, and then transferred him over to ICE, where he then went through the entire removal process, to which he tried to appeal and was denied. So he was ultimately deported back to Jamaica. The law followed the due process. And no, military service does not automatically make you a citizen. You still have to apply. You still have to finish the process of things. And now his fiance is over here telling CBS that he never got his chance to be heard. Except he did. In 2014, at the hearing that he never attended. CBS took a perfectly legal Obama-era deportation order, slapped Trump's name on it, and just let everybody rage out. Because y'all aren't actually interested in the truth. All you want is another reason to be mad at Trump. Prove me wrong. This was fun.
The first story that we're learning from is CNN affiliate WLS. This is in a northern suburb. A woman says that her father was picked up by ICE after ICE knocked on his door and then arrested him. This is a man who's 44 years old. He's a grandfather, and he arrived here from Mexico 30 years ago. Here's what his daughter said. Take a listen.
They won't open the door because they thought maybe one of us were in trouble or something happened to us. He never did anything that would have been nice. I'm already heartbroken myself, and I can't really imagine little kids whose families are breaking apart because of this.
Uh-oh, you're gonna get us skipped.
This is how Samuel Kengethe has spent the summer, huddled around a table enjoying a game with his family, although the laughter they share is bittersweet. In a few short days, he'll be on a flight back to his home country of Kenya.
I'm not trying to run from my responsibility. This is actually me taking accountability.
It's an act of self-deportation, knowing the surge of immigration crackdowns across the U.S. could come for him next. Kengethe first arrived in the U.S. on a student visa in 2009. He was married a few years later, granting him conditional residency. But immigration officials claimed the marriage was a fraud, leading to a court case that has never been resolved.
Person like me with a case in the court, I was a perfect. I fit in. I check all the boxes of people that he will, they'll start with,
Kengethe has since gotten divorced, remarried, and become a father of 3 kids, ages 13, 11, and 5. He'll be leaving them behind, along with his wife of 7 years, Latavia. But for their sake, Kengethe says he cannot afford to live in fear.
I talk to people, they say, oh, all you need to do is lay low. I'm like, what do you mean lay low? Does lay low means that I can't take my kids to their cross game? Does that mean that I can't go to the orchestra concert? Does that mean I can't take to their first day of school like I have been doing for the rest of their lives?
A decision made to protect the family from unnecessary trauma. Latavia says it's still incredibly painful.
He's going to be missing everyone here. We're going to be missing him. And then we're going to have to figure out the financial aspect of, okay, we're missing him. Let's come up with, $5,000-$6,000 to go and fly to Kenya, right?
The couple says they're sharing their journey to send the message that immigrants are just like any other person.
I know people come here illegally and they do things, but that wasn't the case for him. He's done probably far more than what many Americans born and raised here have done.
This was kind of cool. Kenyans.co.eu did a story on a caller I advised on an episode of the show in July of 2023. It was a Kenyan woman called in to speak to me about her sister who was deported from the United States after authorities discovered she was working here on a visitor's visa. And during my call with the woman's sister, she revealed she had been in the U.S. for 4 months on a tourist visa, leaving her children in Kenya. And upon her return from visiting her sons, the immigration officers at the airport, CBP, found a video of her working while she had been in America, leading to her deportation. What they told her was a 5-year ban from reentry. But I explained to her on the show that the 5-year ban is actually forever, not 5 years.
Imagine spending years building a life in America. You work, you pay bills, and even raise your own family, become a part of a community. Then one day, everything changes. An immigration case reopened and a policy change. And suddenly, the future you built is uncertain. Today, we are looking at real-world situations where some people have lived in the United States for years and faced deportation proceedings during the Trump administration.
So this comes as Venezuelans in Florida, many of whom voted for Trump because of his tough stance on immigration, are now having second thoughts.
Well, some Venezuelans say they feel betrayed by the Trump administration, and they want to make it clear the majority of Venezuelans are not criminals.
Like so many other Venezuelans, she cheered when Donald Trump was elected. She's a Venezuelan immigrant, now terrified of being deported. Are you afraid of your son walking to school?
Yes, truly, yes.
What are you afraid of?
That they'll pick him up and he won't have time to call me.
You supported Donald Trump, even though you couldn't vote for him.
Yes. I believe there is a large community of Venezuelans who did. And this was a hard blow because practically the same day he took office, he went against Venezuelans. It seemed personal.
Conditions have not changed, actually have getting worse.
At a press conference in Doral Monday, Venezuelan Americans denounced the Trump administration and South Florida Republicans.
More than betrayed, beyond betrayed. They used us. They actually, during the campaign, and I don't want to make this political, but during the campaign, the elected officials from the Republican Party, they actually told us that he was not going to touch the documented people.
Venezuelans are known to be supporters of the Trump administration. How do you feel about what happened now?
I do know that the news that we woke up for today must have been as frustrated as they have been for me, even for Trump supporters, because it hits home. It's different. It hits straight home. And considering that going back to Venezuela right now, it's not an option.
Those who supported President Trump during the election are firing back, now saying they feel lied to and betrayed.
I want to send a message to the president. If the Venezuelan Americans voted for you in large numbers, they did so to remove criminals. Venezuelan Americans did not vote for you to criminalize the majority of the Venezuelans.
We are all in agreement that violent criminals should be taken out of our country. Deportations should happen for people who have not respected our laws. And I think most people, and I would say the majority of the immigrants here in our community, bought into this platform of safety, security, and protected borders for our country.
If you are thinking to travel abroad and at the invitation of a friend or a relative, you want to listen to this story from one of my subscribers at Travel with Imam Tali, who was so disappointed when the person that she had trusted to receive her in the US at the airport actually told immigration officers that they didn't even know about her, and this lady was deported back to her home country. Please, guys, listen in so you can learn.
Yeah, I hope you're really doing great. So that was really helping to me. So I agreed with this person. I had to pay him like $100K for them to receive me because they gave me a wedding card to attend the wedding. Okay, so I told them I didn't have the $100K right away. So they insisted I had to pay it when I was at the airport. That is in JKA before I traveled. You know, I had already done the air ticket stuff and everything. So I was just in JKA when they called me that I needed to pay the $100K or else. So I didn't know it was this serious. I already got the flight and I had to travel. So reaching the other side when she was called, it's like it was a punishment, you know. She said she doesn't know me. And the border officer was like, you're going to attend a wedding. And whoever you're going to attend a wedding to, because I had an email sent that she was to receive me. said she doesn't know you. So there's no way we can allow you in, because that means you'll be here illegally.
So guys, this is what happened to my Travel with Ivam Tali YouTube subscribers. Like, they literally deported her back to Kenya because the person who had promised to pick her up and also had written for her the invitation letter and the wedding card denied knowing her. And that's why, guys, I encourage you to watch my videos at Travel with Ivam Tali YouTube channel. There I show you how you can legally immigrate, whether it's the US, Canada, Australia, any country in Europe, and without even needing the help of a relative or a friend or an agency. Guys, you don't want to be having to deal with such issues. And this girl, she was literally deported back to Kenya, and she had like a 5-year visa, guys. And that's how mean people can be. You can't trust people with your life, and that is what happened to this lady. So make sure you subscribe to Travel with Ivam Tali's YouTube channel so you can learn more. Guys, I don't even know how I ended up with this.
During Donald Trump presidency, immigration enforcement became a major priority. The administration argued that immigration laws needed to be enforced more consistently and that stronger border security was necessary. Supporters said that the government was simply enforcing what had already existed. Critics argued that the policies affected people who have lived peacefully in the country for years and established deep roots in the American communities. As immigration enforcement increased, some long-term residents found themselves facing deportation proceedings even after spending years and some even decades in the United States. For many families, this created uncertainty and fear about what might happen after. And that's where personal stories begin. Imagine arriving in America as a child. You attend American schools, some even were born there, and you make friends, you grow up speaking English, you build a career. For many immigrants, the United States becomes the only home they have truly known, yet immigration status can be complicated. Some individuals entered legally but later lost legal status. Others overstayed visas. Some had pending cases that remained unresolved for years. When enforcement priorities changed, these cases often received renewed attention. For families, the consequences could be enormous. Parents worried about being separated from their own children, children worried about losing their parents, employers worried about valued workers after leaving their communities. In many cases, local neighborhoods rallied around affected families, organizing petitions and public campaigns, and some deportation cases attracted national attention because the individuals involved had lived in America for such a long time. For supporters of stricter enforcement, these actions demonstrated that immigration laws applies regardless of how long someone has remained in a country. For opponents, the cases highlighted what they viewed as a lack of flexibility and compassion within the immigration system. Regardless of political views, the emotional impact on families was often significant. Well, as we all have seen that this issue sits in the center of one of America's most debated questions: how should immigration laws be enforced? One side argues that consistent enforcement is necessary to maintain the integrity of the legal immigration system. They believe that making exemptions too often could encourage more unauthorized immigrants. And the other side argues that long-term residents who have built lives, families, and even careers in America deserve pathways to remain in the country. These stories of people who have lived in America and later face deportation raises difficult questions about law, fairness, security, and compassion. No matter where you stand politically, these cases remind us that immigration policy isn't just about statistics. It is about real people, real families, and life-changing decisions. What do you guys think? Should long-term residents be given more opportunities to stay, or should immigration laws be enforced equally regardless of how long you've lived in the United States? Share your thoughts in the comment section below, and kindly remember to keep it respectful. If you want more breakdowns like this, kindly hit the subscribe button to join our family. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.